My name is Jacqueline Bush, and I am an editorial and celebrity hairstylist. My clientele has included Faith Hill, Mark Ruffalo, Terrance Howard, Gwyneth Paltrow, Krakowski. I want to be able to show you that hair isn't as intimidating or as hard as you think it is, and I want you to be able to have fun with it and do what your vision is with your hair. So now I'm going to show you how to get hair like Kim Kardashian. The first thing I'm going to do is run a little bit of a heat protector product through her hair. The reason I'm doing that is because Monica's hair is fine, it's curly, and it's blonde. And curly hair in general tends to be drier than straight hair, so it needs that extra protection. So I'm just getting a little product through the ends. I'm going to start at the front. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull the very, very front. The reason I'm leaving this out is just because it's shorter. And when you curl the hair, this is the integral part of blending. So I'm just going to leave that till the end. So I'm going to take my first section of hair, which what I did to make this the quick way is I took from the top of her hair down to the very base of her hair. I took that whole section, and it's pretty skinny. The reason I can do this on her is because her hair is so fine that it's not going to be too much in the iron. But if you have a lot thicker hair than Monica does, you would section that off in half even, or perhaps even less than that. But for her, she doesn't have enough in this particular section that it's really going to matter. So I'm going to take that front section. I'm going to take a 1-inch curling iron. The key to this part of it is using the right kind of iron. If you use an iron that doesn't get as hot, that's what's going to make the curl not really hold or give the same effect. I'm going to take this section of hair I have, I'm going to silk the hair, which is just running the iron through. You see how my tongs aren't quite closed. Heating up the hair, this is what silking means. I'm heating up the hair, smoothing it out, silking it, smoothing it out. Just going to make that area of the hair receptive to the curl. So I'm going to take that hair, I'm wrapping it around the iron. Now for me, I keep opening and closing the iron in a very small way. The reason I do that is because it keeps the hair from getting crimped. So now we have our curl. It looked a little short, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just very gently pulling down on it a little, just to make that curl a little bit looser. Now the reason I'm using an iron, a 1-inch iron, as opposed to a larger iron like this, is because this is a harder iron to keep the curl in, even for somebody with the length of hair like hers. Whereas an iron like this, you can use, and you can get a smaller curl, you can get a larger curl, you can get the amount of curl you need, and all you have to do is, if you want it to be larger, just pull it out a little bit. You can use it a lot more than you can use one of those really big curling irons. So the next thing I'm going to do is, now she has more hair back here, as I'm sectioning that off a little more. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to silk first. The way I showed you a moment ago, as I put the hair in the iron, I curled from the mid shaft and then just kept working my iron around. This is really difficult to do at home. So what I'm going to show you is the easy, user-friendly way for you guys. We're going to silk the hair, and starting at the bottom of the hair, you could leave those ends out a little bit. You're just going to curl up. Now when I get up to the top, remember how I talked about opening and closing the tongs a little bit? You still want to do that, otherwise you're still going to dent that hair. And I have to keep holding it here because you have to remember the section is quite large. So you want to make sure the whole section gets heated. Still holding that iron. And we're going to drop that out. Actually looks pretty good. I'm not going to drop that at all. And then we're going to do the same thing on the top section. You're going to silk that hair. I'm going to silk this twice just to make sure the whole hair is heated up. And then we're going to start at the bottom again. Taking my iron down, working up the hair. You notice I'm not that particular about going all the way up to the root because the Kardashians they like it very smooth on top of their head. They don't like it curled straight from the root. Just keep working that iron around. What I'm doing right now is I'm feeling the hair on top, asking myself if it's hot enough. Feels pretty good. I'm gonna let that fall out. And we're gonna keep working like this all the way around the head.